did you unfollow her?
Because I liked her.
I thought we were friends.
Oh, I'll be a papa.
I might be a dad, bro.
Whoa! She said yes, put the ring, and then we kissed for the first time.
First time.
I have so many secrets I haven't told her. I want to know how she deals with your farts.
You know, I just deal with it. It's just
Why don't you ask me how I deal with her farts?
Do you fart?
sometimes.
Yesterday,
Oh,
her stomach was growling, and she's like, I feel like my stomach hurts. And I was like, maybe you gotta fart. And she's like, how do I fart? So I remembered a TikTok I watched where they made babies fart, and I did that to her. I did the whole
He really did.
moving her legs back and forth and like scrunching her to make her fart.
But then I kept laughing, so then we had to like take a break because it was but I couldn't stop laughing, so then it kept going away.
And it happened.
And then it happened.
It happened.
It happened.
It had volume, but it didn't have scent.
oh, Alex! He just farted, y'all.
I was trying to give you an example. That was a perfect tone of what happened with her.
We're gonna have to pause production to clear the room.
No, I don't.
You know?
I don't.
No, you know
that
what he
doesn't happen
did?
all the
What did he do?
time.
Directly after it happened, he literally put his face next to my butthole and tried to smell it, but there was no smell.
There's nothing.
Oh, true love.
I was like trying to lick the air.
did.
Trying to like get any hint of it, and
I feel like he's
couldn't.
not sure if we're serious or not, but we're dead
I know. I'm pretty sure you're serious.
I know, yeah,
he
we're
would do
serious.
that. Alex is
I put my
pretty,
face right up in there.
He did.
I was trying to.
You're so interesting.
I feel like it just brings us closer. What else could happen?
No, that's good. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. I love that.
So if we ever get in a lineup and they're like, I have to like identify her by farts, I can do it.
No, that's not gonna happen. And when will that happen in your life?
You never know, man. There's a lot of universes out there.
Anyways.
All right. Well, so you guys, you two have been dating for
Almost 2 years.
2
Almost 2
years.
Almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
We up there. You know what else happened 2 years ago? My
What?
first boxing match.
Wait,
I
really?
just got notified like a week ago. It was like 2 years since my boxing match. I was like, whoa, I thought that was like 3 years ago.
Versus Deji?
Yeah.
Whoa.
We started talking like maybe like a week or two after that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I did too. With
Yeah.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I re-entered back into his life.
I sensed it.
So you're competing. He's farting. He's farting.
You guys.
Alex!
You guys.
You want to just
That
pause?
was wet.
You want to?
No. What is it? Chick-fil-A, man.
Alex!
It was Chick-fil-A.
That was
wanna
a
pause
bad
too, so you want
one.
to go take a shit?
I don't know what's going on. I should go to the doctor.
What's wrong? Are you nervous?
No.
That was a bad one.
That was.
That was loud.
I am a little nervous.
Yeah.
But what would you say is the most struggle you had with guava juice?
I think the haters.
Yep.
Number one.
When did that start happening? After you popped off, obviously.
Well, there was a time where I made the trending page every single other 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Every 4 days, I'm just on the trending page
Mhm.
over and over and over and over. And on the trending page, everyone has access to the
Mhm.
trending page. So people with different audiences than just, kid audiences
Mhm.
would see it, and they would be like, who is this guy? Why does he deserve to be on the trending page?
Mhm.
And blah, blah, blah. I get jealous, whatever. And that's when people started making like, just like critique videos / hate videos, like, who's guava juice? Blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know how to handle that because I never seen hate, like specifically from other YouTubers.
Yeah.
It's always just comments. But
Yeah.
then when other YouTubers dedicate a video just to diss on me, I didn't know how to deal with that. So I was like, oh man, am I doing the right thing? Is guava juice actually
Mm-hmm.
bad?
Mm-hmm.
It got in my head.
You know what is crazy about that?
What?
You popped off, become wildly successful because you're following trends.
Mm-hmm.
And then the trend was to bash on other creators that were doing super well so that you got success. So you took advantage of trends, but then trends backfired on you because that became a trend. Because all these hate channels and drama related channels started popping off by talking shit about other YouTubers. That's crazy. Circle of life.
That's meta, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like the aura, bro.
So what happened? What did you do? You just internally hated
Internally,
it?
I was like,
You never acted on it.
No, I was just self-conscious.
I do remember you tweeting how much you hated being on the trending page.
Yeah.
And
dude.
I remember being confused as to why. And then did it I don't know if you remember this because you were distracted by the hate, but did it help your views at all?
The what? The trending page?
Yeah.
I don't think it did, honestly. Because if you're on a trending page,
Yeah.
people who don't know or like that specific content will just click away.
But what about the people? Oh, but what about the people that do? It didn't bring more audience, more subscribers, more views.
The people who knew me already watched the video. But the new people who don't know me watch 2 seconds of the video and click away, which tanks the video because the watch time isn't like long. The watch time went from like 50% to like 10.
Oh, so it hurt more than
so
it
it
helped.
hurt more, which kind of backfired because the videos that were posted after that video tanked also because that video tanked.
Dang. You didn't go to your YouTube manager and be like, hey, can you tell them I don't want to be? And like, this is why, because of this and this and this?
I did not have a YouTube manager at the time. So I had an agent be like, hey, can you just, if you have any contacts from YouTube, can you please tell them to ban me? They never did. I don't think they have control on that. It's just like if your video performs, your watch time performs great, CTR is great, you're a trending page.
You know, it kind of makes sense because as an adult now, I watch a lot of like behind the scenes stuff, like actors, interviews, like their experiences, their life, all that stuff. I watch a lot of that. I watch a lot of bloopers. And so if I'm on the trending page and it's like they put Teletubbies in front of me. And I'm like, why are they recommending Teletubbies to me?
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, why does this keep popping up?
Yeah.
How do I make it so it doesn't? Or say I'm not interested, and they didn't have that option, so they just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
So that was it. That was the time where I experienced like actual hate from like other creators. I'm used to it now just because I understand like their point of view. Like, oh, I get it. You're like, oh, you just, it pops up. You're like, I don't like it. I'll just make some stuff. Yeah. And then you pointed out the trending was the trending for me, the trending.
Yeah.
So the trending made them trending because I was trending.
Because anything guava juice, if you put guava juice in the title, it's going to pop up. And then even like your audience would click on that and they love it. And then they see your name on something else and it's something negative. And they're like, oh, let me find out about that. And then like, oh. So you've probably even lost people because they're like, oh, other people don't like him. Maybe I shouldn't like him.
Yeah,
just bandwagoning.
They brainwashed my audience to not like me because they like, oh, they don't. He's loud. It's like, you're right. He is loud.
Yeah,
that's my persona, dude.
Dang.
And people don't understand like how to separate, the persona and like the actual person itself. So entertainment, man. Would you want to live till you're 100?
Depends on my health. If I'm rickety, if I'm a burden on people, that's the main thing. I don't want to be a burden on people. Like my parents and a lot of people I talk to, they're like, you better never put me in a retirement home or a nursing home. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Why so?
Because then all your friends are right down the hall. You got activities, they feed you, you have your own space too. I used to work at a retirement home and it was cool. Sometimes I worked in the dining area and sometimes they would order it, so you had to bring it to their room, and you'd go up there. They're just watching their favorite shows,
having sex,
hanging out. Yeah, they do that too.
They do a lot of sex. They're just like the Olympic boarding houses. The same thing with retirement homes. Sex.
Yeah, because I worked there, and it's very common to have Alzheimer's or dementia, or you forget that you're married and you're a wife. You forget you have a wife. You forget you have a husband. So you just. Everybody's hooking up.
Is that true? Like, since you work in a retirement home, have you experienced people having sex or did you participate? What's the story? Like, is it true?
Participate?
Like, did you not? No. But did you experience?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, but I heard stories from other people that worked there for a long time. I worked there for like a year.
Yeah.
But I would hear stories, and then you would see these old people flirting and stuff, and then I would be like, wait, he has a wife, but. He doesn't remember that he has a wife, and then the wife doesn't remember. She probably sees him and is like, dang, he's a good-looking dude. Damn, but she's married to him. She doesn't even know.
I see why you want to go to a retirement home now, Alex.
It was crazy, man. Yeah. There was one time, it was like a bunch of widow ladies. Yeah. They're sitting at this table, and I was just a waiter. And this guy walks in, and he has a cane. He has like a slick walk, and he's like, what's up, ladies? And they're like, what's up, Kenneth? And they're like, dang, are those new shoes? And he's like, oh, these old things, and they were New Balances.
Hey man, New
They're just
Balances are
like-
nice nowadays.
Yeah, they were just like arch support, very like I don't know. It was just funny seeing how impressed they were and how they flirt. And every once in a while, when I got a chance, I would sit down with one of them and
Yeah.
while they're eating, and I would just ask their life story. There's a lot of retired. There is like millionaires live there.
Oh.
Like it was not a. It was expensive retirement home. And they were talking about one person was like a pilot back in the day. There were some Olympians that were like, they're like old and rickety and like you need a walker, but they were like, oh, I was the number one this like pole vaulter and whatever, or number one javelin thrower in 1950. You know, like, wow, that's crazy.
Did you believe him? Do you think they're telling the truth?
I think so. They showed me pictures.
Because sometimes whenever I don't know people, I'll just make up stories, make up my names.
Yeah.
Like whenever people ask me what my names are in this, like the supermarket or the grocery
Yeah.
store, like, can I get a name? It's Oscar.
Sometimes when I go to grocery stores or I know I'm going to have a short encounter with somebody, I'll change my accent. I'll do a country accent or
Yes.
British accent because they don't know.
I did that once in Florida. I visited Monette in Florida. I went to Orlando. I was like, I'm gonna have a British accent because I'm like Filipino and like in Florida, and they'll be confused. I did my accent in Target, and I was like, "Can I please get a bag of ice?" They're like, "Oh, where are you from?"
Mississippi.
Cambridge. They did not
Was
care.
Monette there?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's your
Yeah.
wife.
That's my wife.
Yeah, for the audience, listeners, or viewers.
Yeah. So, I would want to live till I'm 100.
Well,
I think I'm gonna do everything in my power to stay healthy. Cause you know the secret to living to 100?
working out.
Yes, but specifically strong legs.
Strong legs, yeah.
You gotta.
Just got to use it or lose it.
Because once your legs stop working, once you get in a cane or a wheelchair, oof, your life is going straight to death.
I saw this thing, and they were like, this is a human heart, and it's pumping.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, when this thing starts pumping, you're alive. When it stops, you're dead. And I was like, dang, that is so true. And your heart pumps when you're sleeping, when you're awake. Every single second you're alive, your heart is pumping nonstop, never resting. Crazy.
That's subconscious. You know what we lose as humans? We lose on average 1 heartbeat per minute every single year.
Oh, really?
That's right. That's true.
That's crazy.
So, you know, by the time, you know, like whenever old people go on walks or that's their workout, it's because that is hard to do because your heartbeat is not that much anymore.
Yeah.
So,
dang, that's crazy.
So our jogging now is equivalent to an 80-year-old's walking. That's the same like effort they perceive whenever they do that
That's
exercise.
crazy.
Yeah.
So when you get a heart transplant, is it like you're reset?
I don't
Or
know. I
because
really
all
don't
the
know.
other things are still old. So the heart is new, but it probably can't run as efficiently because everything else is old. But
I don't think so. I think that's dangerous because that heart isn't used to your entire body.
Yeah.
Do you know what your blood type is?
Red.
Hey.
Fabito. That's a cool name.
It's a cool name.
Yeah,
It's a
I've
cool
never met
name.
anybody. Yeah, I've always liked your last name. Even in high school, I was like, what? That's my favorite last name.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fabito. It's Portuguese, I think.
Oh, it is?
I think so.
Mm.
Because we got conquered by Portugal, and then they just like, take Fabito.
What's the
Oh.
Yeah.
like most common American last name? Smith?
Smith, I think.
Smith. What's China?
Wu.
I don't
I
know.
bet it's Wang.
I think it was Wu or Wang.
Wang or like Lee.
I know Filipino, it's Garcia. Oh, no, or Dela Cruz. One of those.
Dela Cruz.
Wang and Lee are shared over.
Oh, there you go. See,
Oh, Wang.
I know a lot. I mean, out of my experience with Chinese friends or Chinese acquaintances that I've had, there's probably like 15 in my life where
Mm.
like I've talked to them, like where we had a conversation. We were actually friends,
Yeah.
and 5 of them had to be Wang.
Wang.
Like, it's very common. What about Mexico? What do you think? What do you think their most common last name?
Hernandez.
Hernandez for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah?
100%.
I know a lot of Hernandezes.
100% Hernandez.
What about Japan? I bet it's Lee with a
Japan?
with an I.
I'm going to... Japan? What's your guess?
I don't know.
I'm going to say...
Lee or
Takahashi.
or Sato.
Oh, Sato's
Sato.
popular.
That's a
Cool
common
last
one.
name though. That sounds
That's
really
a great
cool.
last name. I like that.
Otani, I think.
Oh, that's a good one. Wait. Are you looking that up?
Yeah, it's fake.
Sa-
Say-
oh,
Why are you so good?
That's
It's
a
like
cool
you like
last
researched
name.
this beforehand, no?
No, this is my life experience, like with friends.
Whoa.
I'm like, I know a lot of Satos if they're Japanese. What about like what's another like Russia?
I really wouldn't know that at all.
I don't know, man.
Vladimir's a first name. I bet it's like Smirnov. Not
I
the
don't know
drink.
about-
Just locking in those guesses. You think Smirnoff?
No,
Smirnoff?
Smirnov.
I'm gonna say Grove.
I don't have a guess. I don't really know much of
Yeah.
like
I don't either. We're
last
just
names,
guessing.
yeah.
This is from personal experience.
It's Ivanov.
Oh, that is
I
definitely
have
the
heard that
one.
last name.
What? Petrov? That's see, Smirnov is like in that realm.
No, that's.
Smirnoff is fourth.
Oh, no way.
I told
I thought you were just pulling things
Yeah,
up your.
I thought so
your butt.
too.
So I met the amount of times we've talked about how our paths could have crossed is insane. Like I remember meeting Yusuf at a VidCon, and I remember him being surrounded by really tall people.
That was us.
That was Aaron, but I didn't meet Aaron. And then, like, we've been to so many VidCons, so many playlist live events, just never crossed paths. I was literally at his apartment, never met him. Literally 30 minutes after I left, he showed up. Like, that's so crazy. It's like literally, if there's anything to like have hope about, it's like all in the timing, right?
Yeah.
For sure. So when you guys saw each other at LAX, like, what was the interaction? Were you like, oh, I know you. You met Guppy, right? Or what was?
Swoozy introduced us. I didn't know that they
yeah.
were the Merrill twins. The only thing I knew about the Merrill twins was that you and Lauren would be like, Aaron, you should date one of the Merrill twins. They're just like you. They're so nice and funny. You should date one of the Merrill twins. You told me
Yeah.
that like 3 times.
Me and Lauren were like, we just like hung out with you guys a couple times, and we're like, man, like, because Aaron just got to California, and he still had the innocent East Coastness, and we're like, man, they're so innocent,
Still
and
have
Aaron
it.
is so innocent. They're both just good people. I bet they would get along, but maybe is he too old? I don't think so.
That's what I thought too. When I first met them, I was like, they're never going to be interested in, or she's never going to be interested in me. But question, when you thought of the Merrill twins, did you think of Ronnie as being the one?
Which
for me?
one?
Because they always
Oh.
ask me, I was like, I don't know which one he meant. He just said Merrill twins.
So back then, I meant either one, but I didn't know you guys that well. Now knowing both of you guys, 100% Ronnie.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, nothing's wrong with Nessa. It's just like matchup wise, it's you guys for
We're both
sure.
goofy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
goofy looking.
But when I first met Aaron, like my first impression was like, hi, nice to meet you, looking up at him. And then Susie was like, this is Alex's brother. So like, you are so nice and so friendly. And I immediately assumed he was so nice and friendly. And I was like, I want to be around this person, because if he's anything like his brother, that means he's a great guy. So thank you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember you guys came back and we heard that you guys like hit it off, and we were like, we knew it.
We told you so.
What's the height difference?
I'm 6. I'll just say 6'3". Sometimes I'm 6'4".
I think
On a
you're
good
more
day.
6'4".
On a good day.
Okay. So
I'm-
what's the height difference? A foot?
I'm 5'2", over a foot.
Oh,
right?
14.
Wow.
Yeah.
14 inches. Nice, nice,
And,
nice.
unless she wears high heels.
Yeah.
It's closer.
Or my platform shoes. It gives me a reason.
Aw.
Nice.
So when you were in DC, wait, so you were LAX,
Mm-hmm.
and then did it just like the spark just happen, and then throughout the plane ride, or did it not?
Didn't talk to her at all on the plane. She
Wow.
did give me one of the best compliments I've ever heard.
Oh,
She said I look like an anime character on the bus.
He
oh,
did. He looked like it was like a anime movie scene. He was all alone, sitting across from all of us, and he was just on his phone, and like the trees were going by, and I was like, wow, that looks like an anime movie scene.
you were like, that is the cutest loser I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Loser. All by himself. I was like, oh.
I think I
much.
was watching anime on my phone at the time too.
oh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then what happened? You guys, after, wait, you got on the bus from where?
From the airport in DC.
Yeah.
And then that's where you were just,
So we got
Hanging
back to
out.
the hotel, and when we landed at the airport, Aaron was like, I was like, where do we go? And I started getting anxious because I get anxiety. And then Aaron was like, I think we go this way. And I was like, wow, he's a leader.
He could lead a whole family.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I like this guy. And then we got to the hotel and I went to Swoozie and I was like, is he single? And Swoozie, in very Swoozie manner, was like, why do you ask?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I think he's cute and I want to know if he's single. And he was like, I think so. Yeah, he is. And I was like, okay. And so then I just kept talking to the whole night, and then we like had a chance to sit next to each other. And like my way of flirting is very like not flirtatious at all. Like I did leg touching.
You didn't pick that up?
He thought I had personal space issues.
I did. I was like, why are you so close to me? I mean, like, I didn't think she was going to like... Remember, I wasn't even supposed to go to Playlist. Swoozie made me go to be his wingman.
Yeah, and then I couldn't go for some reason either.
Yeah, you had to film something.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you weren't there?
No, I was not.
Oh, wow.
You and Lauren
I
weren't
thought you were
there.
there all the time.
No,
You
I
were
didn't
just
even
doing your
hear
own
about
thing.
it until you got back.
Oh.
Yeah, I was 100% not going. And he was like, man, I need a wingman. Come on, it'll be fun. And then that first night, I met her, and then I wasn't his wingman.
Oh, you just left him?
Yeah. I left him with Matt Centaro.
Ah, cool.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I took so she had just turned 21, and we went to a bar, and Swoozie bought everybody drinks. And remember, you and Nessa didn't want to take your shots that he gave you, so I drank them. I drank them for them.
What's the
Yeah.
age difference again? So it's 7 years, 6 years?
7.
7. I was
7
21. You
and
were
some.
27.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
me and Alexis
27,
are
yeah.
6 years.
Yeah. To be fair, he didn't look like he was about to be 28. So
Yeah.
We didn't talk
I
about
had
age.
no idea how old he was. He didn't know how old I was.
I didn't know.
We just like fell in love, and then we found out, and we were like, oh,
We're just a
Well-
couple
well-
cradle robbers out here.
I'm like, oh.
oh, okay.
Would you eat me?
Yes.
All right, if I die,
Yes.
I want you to eat a part of me.
Okay.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
You want me to film it? Like, hey, this is Alex Wassabi.
No, just keep a personal
Oh, okay,
thing.
personal.
Yeah,
Sorry,
just by
guys.
yourself. Don't tell anybody. Just you gotta like when I'm like
You
in my
want?
casket, you have to go up and you have to
Shut
pretend you're gonna
up.
kiss me on the forehead and cut a piece off.
Oh, where? Your forehead? I'm gonna just cut your forehead. No one's gonna know.
No, you gotta cut like I don't know, but no, we'll get a contract
That's
signed.
only-
I'll have my lawyer. I'll have consent. You can eat a part of me.
That's only if you die first.
Yeah,
If I die first, I can't do that.
yeah, because you're dead.
Yeah.
So you want me to eat you?
Yeah, sure. Right now.
Okay, we'll have a contract, and then when you do eat me or I eat you, we both taste it for real. We cook it perfectly. We taste it, and then out loud, you have to say 1 out of 10, and then I'll hear it. I'll be like, oh,
Why don't we just do that while we're alive?
because I need that.
Oh, that's true. Not
Yeah.
even a small portion of your thigh.
Just one bite, like a little more.
Just like
Why
a
is my
little
mouth
one.
watering? No! Is yours?
A little bit. I'm like, ooh, what's this fool taste like?
No.
Just cut a little bit,
You'll be like,
and then they can sew it back up.
oh, okay.
I'll give you my filet mignon.
Oh, a little medallion.
A medallion.
A little filet medallion. Yeah.
Where's what part of my body doesn't affect my other parts? You think?
I feel like every part is needed.
I feel like you don't need like.
Oh, how about we
Your
eat
butt.
each other's spleens? We both get them taken out. Our spleens.
Is that we need our spleens, right?
I don't think so.
Appendix. We don't need appendix.
Appendix.
Okay.
You know that I read an article on them. They don't. They were trying to figure out what the appendix for, and nobody knew. And everyone's like, "What is it for?" And they think we just evolved past it. Like we needed it back in the day, and then
Yes.
we evolved past it. But then I could be completely wrong. But then they realized what it was. It was like a backup of good bacteria. It's like, oh, if you're fighting and they needed extra help, it would send out
From the
like,
appendix.
It's like the backup. Yeah, it's like the cavalry.
Oh, so it's like
That's what I heard.
go.
Or I might be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, here's the plan.
Okay.
Statistically, one of us or both of us will probably have our appendix taken out at some point. Because my dad did.
My dad did too.
Your dad did too. I think like it's very common to have to get your appendix out.
Okay.
We're gonna take it from the hospital.
Can they do that?
I don't know.
You can be like, I guess you can make a special request. Like,
Yeah, you
"Oh,
could.
Please.
I tried to keep my teeth when I got when I got a tooth pulled or something like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, hey, can I have that? And they're like, no.
Why? That's
know.
you.
I don't know.
So they're saying they own you.
I guess it's probably like they get in trouble or something. I don't know, but we gotta figure out how to get the appendix from the doctor.
That's only if we have to get it taken out.
Yeah,
Okay.
one of us will have to, and then we'll
try
split it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll split it.
Yeah, we both try it.
So I'm eating myself too, or you're
If you
eating
want
yourself. I could try.
I'll try it.
I don't think appendix would taste good though. I want like the good meat, like
We
the
gotta
thigh.
change the topic. My mouth is watering. It's freaking me out.
All right, that's
freaking
not.
me out.
Okay.
I've never felt so much in danger other than that time
Me
in my
too.
life.
Me
I was
too.
like, oh my God, dude, if I get stabbed, this will be the weekend I get
Yeah.
stabbed. Like I felt that was how I felt not safe.
Yeah, that organization, Showstar.
Yep.
They were doing everything they could to make sure Deji won.
Wow.
Yeah, they were doing everything. I got there, I had the tiny hotel room, and I was like, I'm the main event. Why do I have a tiny hotel room?
Yep.
I go downstairs and I ask if I can upgrade my room. They say the last upgraded room was taken by Deji.
Wow.
And so he had a huge room. He had enough room to hit pads in the room. He had just like, it was nice. And I was stuck in this tiny room.
I remember
Yeah.
it was so dark.
So little.
So
And then
little.
the only place we could go hit pads was in one of the little conference rooms. I was like, hey, Showstar, can you provide us with space to hit pads? Like, okay. They gave us this little tiny room.
Yep.
And like, you were there? You remember
I
that?
was there.
Yeah.
And
like,
it was they were giving you trouble
Yeah.
getting it too.
yeah.
They're
And
like,
then-
okay, I
Yeah.
guess.
It was rough. And then we went to freaking, every time I went anywhere, they were like, oh yeah, we'll get you there. And then I went to the weigh-ins, which is right across the street. It's
Yeah.
like 200 feet away from the hotel door.
Yep.
And we went to the weigh-ins, me and Deji, the main event, weighed in, the whole crowd's booing me, the whole crowd's throwing stuff at me. We weigh in, whatever, and then they start transporting all the fighters from the thing to the hotel. So they
Yeah.
have bodyguards, and they hired the bodyguards for this event.
Sure.
And the bodyguard would escort one fighter, escort another fighter, escort like two fighters at once.
Yeah.
And then I was the last one, and they said, "Hey, wait, we'll take you at the end because you're getting the most hate." I was like, "Okay, cool." It comes up to my time, and they're like, "Okay, let's go." One of the workers at Showstar, and I was like, "Wait, where's the bodyguards?" And then they're like, "Oh, they quit." And I was like, "What? Wait, what?" I was like, "They quit? What do you mean they quit? What? They were just doing their job and they just decided to quit when it's my turn to go across?" And they're like, "Yeah."
That's sketchy,
Yeah,
bro.
so-
is that when we got egged?
Yes.
When we
Yes.
because there were no bodyguards
Yeah.
protecting us.
And they quit. They quit. I'll explain that later. So then I freaking am walking across. We're getting water balls thrown at us, rocks thrown at us, eggs thrown at us. Me and my friends are getting egged. And like, then everybody goes into protective mode. My coach puts my head down and just starts pushing me forward. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, wait, my friends. And he's like, no, you got to get you out of here. This is why it's happening. I was like, okay. So then we got in the hotel. And then I was like, what? And then people were like breaking in, like coming through. People were holding them back, like, no. And they're like yelling at me. They're like, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, what is going on? And I get to my hotel room, and I actually became friends with one of the bodyguards.
Yeah.
And I DM him. I was like, bro, what the f-? And then he texted me and said, yo, we randomly got fired. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we're in the middle of transporting people, and the Showstar fired us. And I was like, what? And he was like, I don't know why. They didn't tell us. We're assuming it's a racial thing, but we just got fired. I'm so sorry. I heard what happened to you. I saw all the things. We should have been there. And I was like, what? And then I didn't see them again for the rest of the event. I think it's because they were helping me and they wouldn't comply to what Showstar wanted.
Whoa.
Crazy, right? This is the first time I'm saying this, but I'm just telling the truth. So
Yeah. I remember I have the video of us walking.
yeah.
And you and your coach just covering your head to
Yeah.
protect you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was because they got fired.
Yeah.
Like mid job.
Yes.
When it was your turn.
Yes.
That's so sketchy. What?
They just knew that their cash cow was Deji. If they could get Deji to win, it's their first event as a new, like, whatever. So they're like, we need Deji to win because he's from there. All the fans are there for him. If he wins, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to blow Showstar up.
Yep.
So then,
I did not know that happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just like they hated you, they hated US. I didn't know it was like a security guard issue.
Yep.
It was like rigged. They're trying to rig, like you
Yes.
said. They were trying to rig it.
yes.
Wow.
And you know who was the only nice person to me? The only group of people that was nice to me throughout the whole thing when we were off camera.
What?
Deji and Coach Daly.
No
They
way.
were so nice. Like there was a couple times where like we were at the same hotel, so we would end up eating at the same place, and we'd be like, "Oh, really? You guys are here?" And they're like, "Yeah." Or we'd be at a restaurant down the street,
Yeah.
and they just happened to be there.
Yeah.
Super nice off camera. I think they felt bad because they knew what I was going through.
Yeah.
They knew the whole country was against me. They knew it was my first fight. They knew that everybody was trying to make me crumble before I even get in the ring.
Yeah.
So I just had bad sleep that whole week. I was getting egged that whole week. I was getting sabotaged the whole week. Then
Yep.
fight night comes.
Yep.
And I get to my locker room.
What? Oh my God. There's something in the locker room?
Yeah. I get to my locker room. My locker room has my TV's not working. I was like, so I couldn't see what was happening. Everybody else's TV was working. I couldn't see what was happening outside. I was just kind of waiting for hours. And then my heater wasn't working. They put me in the locker room with the only one where the heater wasn't working.
So it was
I think there
cold.
might have been a couple of other rooms, but the main event was put into a room that had no heater. And every hour or so, they would send somebody to come look at it. They would come and tap it and be like, I'll come back. I'll work on that. They would, and then another person would come back. It's not working. I don't know. So I'm in there shaking. I'm cold,
I remember it was cold and
Freezing.
raining the whole weekend.
freezing in
Yes.
my room.
In your
I was
room, I can't
freezing.
imagine.
And I was like, and I'm just waiting for my
What?
turn to fight. And then I had like the fights happening on my little phone, and I'm
Yeah.
just shaking. My coach and my team are putting towels on me. They're sitting next to me, pretty much cuddling with me, trying to get me warm, and I'm just shaking, waiting to fight.
Yeah.
And then they're finally like, okay, your fight's coming up. Time to warm up. I was like, oh, okay. So then finally I'm moving around. I'm like, okay, I feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And then time for the ring walk.
Yep.
I walk out there. I'm pretty sure it was like 15,000 people.
Yep.
Every single body in that arena or stadium, whatever, was against me.
Dude, I remember you asked me to walk with you. I'm like, oh God. This was like after we got egged. I was like, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm scared, but I'm act tough.
Yeah. It was crazy, right?
It was everybody.
Yeah.
I have never heard the word boo
Yeah.
as loud as I did in that arena.
And I turned those boos into oohs and ahs. So when I was in the ring, it was crazy because I've been through so much in that week leading up to this. I'm like, finally, I'm in the ring. Finally, let's just get this done. And then we start fighting, and nobody. Every time nobody would cheer for me.
Yeah.
All I ever heard was boo, and the only time I heard something else related to me that wasn't boo was ooh or oh, and that's what I was targeting. I was like, every time I hear that, that's what's gonna fuel me.
Yeah.
So I was like, boom, land something. I would land something, and they're like, oh, and I was like, yeah, that's mine.
Yep.
And then he would swing, and he would miss, and they'd be like, oh, and I was like, that's mine. And then there was one point where I've never been in a boxing fight.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that I like to talk in there. And there was a point where we're in the middle, and I'm kind of like feeling it. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, this is what it's like. Okay. I don't see the people around me. It doesn't matter. It's me and this guy. And they were like, Deji.
Yep.
And we're looking at each other, and I was like, they're cheering your name, not my name. What are you going to do about it? And he was like, what? And I was like, they're not cheering Alex. Come on, show him something. And then he like shot a jab, and I blocked it. And then I was like, do it again. And then he was like, what? I was like, do it again. And he did a jab. I was like, boom!
You
and
baited
can see,
him?
yeah, I baited him. And when he threw it out of anger, I was like, ah! And you could see, he's like, poof. If I look back at the footage, it'd be cool. But and then a fan ran into the ring.
I remember that.
That was crazy. I thought I was gonna get stabbed.
Yeah. I was confused.
Yeah, you can see that I'm completely focused on Deji. And when that fan runs in behind me, I see Deji just kind of put his hands down and look. And I was like, what? And then I saw like a figment in my peripherals, and I was like, oh, I'm about to get stabbed. So you see me jump, and I face the guy immediately.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, who is this?
Yep.
And then he's talking. I can't hear what he's saying. And then a coach, I think it was Leon or somebody from Deji's team, picked this guy up and threw him out of the ring.
Yep.
And then my friend grabbed him and threw him to the ground and like punched him. And then it was crazy. And I was like, what? And then the first thing that popped in my head was, oh, is Deji okay? And I look at Deji and I'm like, are you okay? Because I
Yeah.
like so many things happening. I didn't know if he like was going after Deji, if he was going after me. And Deji's like, I'm good. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I kind of relaxed and I was like, okay, do we still fight? And then I was like, what do we do? And then they like gave us like 5-minute rest because they had to calm the crowd down. They had to calm down. They're like, if anybody does that again, we're gonna have to end the fight. And then it was pretty much like starting the fight over again.
That must
and
have been nice.
I got a feeling for what he wanted to do, what like his speed, his power in the first round. I was like, oh, I'm about to mess this guy up. But I just couldn't catch him. He was running. He was running.
I remember.
We went on a super far boxing tangent.
Yeah. No, it's fine. This is your first boxing experience. It's
It was
special.
crazy.
It's hostile.
Yeah.
I thought we were friends, and then he unfollowed me.
Why'd you unfollow her? Oh, because it's. Yeah, why did you unfollow her?
Because I liked her. It was obvious I liked
Oh.
her. We were like DMing on and off for like a year or something.
He
nothing
would swipe
flirty.
up on something, and I would just say something nice back. That's like really the extent of it. But he would.
She would start sometimes, but it was very platonic. But she would message me sometimes and be like, "Oh, how would you think of that movie? I loved it." Like that if I went to a movie or something.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember this, but
It was never anything bad.
Yeah.
But it was more like a friend. You're just checking up on a friend.
Yeah.
So I unfollowed her,
Yeah.
and she messaged me and said, "Why did you unfollow me?" And I hit her with this line, and after this line, I didn't talk to her again for years.
How did you know he unfollowed you?
Well, he was one of always like the first names that would pop up on like my stories and
Probably 'cause
stuff.
Alex,
And so I just noticed that he was. I don't know how quickly I noticed, but I
Yeah.
definitely noticed at one point. I was like, oh, and then I think I still followed you, so I like saw you posted something, but then I was like, I don't think he's like seen any of my stuff, and so I like went on his profile and went to the following thing, and he wasn't following me anymore, and I was like,
Yep. So she said,
I was like, whoa.
"Why are you not following me?" I said,
What'd you say?
"I can't risk following for somebody that's not gonna catch me." Didn't talk to her again for ever.
Like two years after that.
Yeah.
We didn't speak. Yeah.
Was that sincere?
Yeah.
Or it was just more like.
No, that was true, but also I was like, I'm gonna leave her with a line that she's never gonna forget. After I thought of that line, I was like, oh, how is that not in a song? That's a great line. I'm not gonna risk. What is your 1-year goal?
What is my 1-year goal?
In 1 year, where do you want it? What do you want? What do you think your life's gonna be? Oh, you gonna be a papa?
I might be a dad, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think I've been ready to be a dad since I was like 25, so.
I'm ready to be an uncle again.
Oh.
Let's go.
All right. That's my
I
1-year
have
goal.
I have one niece.
Nice.
That's it.
About to be more
All right.
from, not me, but hopefully Aaron.
So what about work-wise? Where do you hope to be in a year?
Profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
that would be
gonna
great.
make it happen for you.
We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Okay, here we go. You ready? I don't know what I'm about to pull out, but I'm about to pull out something.
Oh. Oh!
Our first
Yo!
merch. I can't believe this was in a box randomly in the back of my closet. Look at this. That's crazy.
That is our first ever merchandise.
our first ever. This is crazy.
Dude.
This is before like even a thing. Like it wasn't really a thing. We were just like, we should have some kind of shirts. Like YouTubers didn't have merch yet.
Yes, dude, that
Yeah.
is crazy.
Isn't it? That's crazy. Here, I was gonna give it to you.
No, this is yours, man.
No, it's ours, but you can hold. I'll take it in like 10 years.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, the rubber duck,
Yeah.
dude.
Some deodorant stains from teenage years.
Dude, I remember. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
made.
We made this.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, back in the day, our mascot was a duck because this symbol kind of looked like a duck, and we named it Waffles because we did a poll, and that was the number one name that everybody liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, bro,
What about this one?
that's triggering. That's awesome. Good trigger. Oh, that's an old one too.
It's an old one too.
Wow.
Whoa.
This is a playlist live vibes.
I think so. It was like Florida
2013?
vibes too. Like we just
Yep, smells like storage.
smells like adolescence.
Hey, bro.
All right. Next question. 5-year goal.
5-year goal. Jeez. 5-year goal. I want to move my parents here and my family.
To California?
Yeah.
You think they would?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Like, because you did have a sibling living here and he moved back.
mm-hmm.
You think they would all move here?
I think if everything goes right,
Mhm.
yeah, they would move here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I would also like to. I want to sell things again, like how I did the subscription box or
Mhm.
stuff. I just like having stuff in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many kids do you think you'll have by then?
I don't know. Hopefully, at least one.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have how many do you want?
At least two.
Oh, okay. I'm sure by then you'll have one.
Yeah.
You want another thing?
Yeah. Give me another one.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh!
That's the VIP pass that let us get into Universal to do your favorite Wasabi Productions video ever we did.
Oh my gosh. Yes. This is the VIP badge.
Yeah.
Backstory. What I have in my hand is a VIP pass for Despicable Me. Despicable Me 2?
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't
Or
remember
one.
that either.
I think it was one, bro.
No, one took off and we were promoting the second one.
Oh.
Yeah, and I forgot that too.
Okay, this is for so this is a VIP badge for Despicable Me 2. Universal Studios invited Alex and I and a whole bunch of other creators to go and film whatever we want. We could have just filmed a vlog,
Mhm.
but we took it a next level and filmed the music video because you want good relations to anyone you're working with.
Mhm.
So, and it turned out to be my favorite Richard and Rolanda video you've ever filmed. It was just fun.
It was fun. And I like I can't remember what the storyline is, but I remember really liking it and working really hard on it because it was like a big video for us. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, we got to make this one epic. And it did turn out to be epic. And they gave us minions that followed us around the entire
Yep.
park. And that video has like 50 million views.
That's
That we
crazy.
did, yeah.
And the thing is, like, we didn't have a cameraman
Yep.
or anything, so we just like hired
Some
our
friends,
friends.
yeah.
Like, hey, can you film this for us?
I think we even like lied to Universal and be like, oh, we need a whole crew just so we could have some other friends.
Yeah,
you want to
yeah,
walk
yeah.
around? You want to
Yeah,
do
and they
VIP?
ended up getting a VIP treatment too,
Yeah,
just because
yeah.
they filmed.
And
That's
then I
awesome.
remember like we told two of them were like, if anybody asks, you're the bodyguards, and they're like, okay. Okay, just because we wanted our friends to have fun too.
Yeah,
That was fun.
wow. Dang.
Oh yeah.
I want to see if I have. I'm pretty sure my house back home has some
Some
tokens of the past somewhere.
10-year goal.
10-year goal. Be happy.
Be happy.
I think
It's a
that's
good one.
ultimate goal, just happiness in general.
If you had to pick a financial number that you would like to hit, what would it be? For me, it would be cool if I reached $25 million in 10 years.
Dang.
I know it's a big goal, but it would be really cool.
I think I'm good now.
You think?
I think because the older I get, it's like more money, more problems kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want any more because it
That's
just causes
true.
more problems.
Yeah.
And it just strays away from like true happiness.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
take it all. Take it all.
Take it all?
Take all my money.
No,
Break this
whoa.
wall so I can fix it.
Well, no, money is the number one stressor in the world. So everybody says money can't buy happiness, and I agree mostly. But also, it takes off so much stress on your family, on your life, on your kids, on everything if you just have means.
Yeah. Money can only buy security and comfortability.
It
cannot buy happiness.
It can't buy
It
happiness.
can lead to
It can
happiness
lead to happiness.
if you do it correctly.
It helps you get to happiness.
Yeah.
Celebrity deaths. Any of those hit you hard?
Like super hard?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like Kobe or
Steve
Michael
Irwin,
Jackson?
actually.
That was a surprise.
I was young and I really loved Steve Irwin when I was young. And when he died, I remember the morning, I was like, oh my goodness. So I was just trying to figure out and find videos of his death
Yeah,
as a young child.
that was an unexpected one.
Yeah.
You heard the whole story, like how it went down?
The Stingray?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. What happened?
Well, this is from what I remember, but it was so long ago. And when people say, "Oh, you were our childhood," Steve Irwin was our childhood. Like it was him, and then he was just floating in shallow water at the beach looking for stingrays. He found one, and I guess he like was swimming over it, and then it just stung him in the chest, I think multiple times, like,
Oh.
"Bah, bah, bah, bah." And he's very in tune with how animals work. And
Yeah.
so he apparently stood up, looked at his cameraman, looked at his chest, and said, "I'm going to die."
Oh wow.
Because he knew what just happened. He knew how venomous it was. He knew where he got hit, and he said, "I'm going to die." And then he died.
Oh my god, that's tragic.
Yeah, that's from what I heard. That's how it went down.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a big one. And then 9/11. Where were you for that?
9/11.
You were probably 4th grade, 3rd grade? I was in 5th grade.
I was 5th grade. I didn't know what was happening. I just remember 9/11 happened, and they went home, and then my dad was like, "Yo, look at this. Look what happened." Like, whoa. But I was in 5th grade. I didn't really have any concept of what just happened. Like, oh, the crash in the building. I
Yeah.
guess people died. Oh, I don't know them.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, crazy.
Yeah.
But now looking back, I'm like, that was devastating.
I was very young. I was in school, and
Yeah.
I remember the teacher was like in a panic. Like, what is going on? And she turned the TV on, the news channel for all these kids, and we're watching, and you just see all this coverage. You see, it's like it already happened. It just happened, but they're replaying what happened, the smoke and all the towers and the impact and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then the second impact, and my teachers are crying, and the kids were just confused. They didn't really explain. I think because like imagine you're a teacher
Yeah.
and something this drastic happens, historically happens, and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, am I supposed to show the kids? Am I not? But you want to. It's part of life. Like you have to be up to date. So she turns it on. We're all watching, and at this time, as a little kid, in my little kid brain, I thought we were watching a movie. I didn't realize this was happening in real life. So it's panic, and then I think school got out. Like they told, like all the parents came to get their kids like before school ended, and my aunt picked me and my cousins up, and we get in the car, and my aunt or uncle in the driver's seat was like, "Did you see what happened?" And I'm like, "What?" And then they explained what happened, and that's where I was like, "Whoa, what? Oh, that was real? That really happened?"
Yeah.
And yeah, that was just crazy to experience, to live through.
Dude, she did not want me to leave Wassabi. Zero.
Yeah, I like was so against it. I'm
Do
like,
you
this is so
remember
stable.
why, how, like the last straw before we broke up, or like how he brought it up?
I think, there was one time he posted a vlog
Yeah.
in Gainesville in a car. I remember that. I got so mad at him for posting that and filming. I'm like, that is so passive. Do you know how ridiculous that is?
What did I say? What did I say?
You're just
You
like,
said,
I
"Oh
forgot what you're
man, I'm
saying."
just burnt out, man." and
Yeah.
everything you see on Wasabi, 95% of
So-
Wasabi, I do everything. Alex does nothing. And then I was like,
I know.
what?
I said
And-
that.
You did, you did.
Something like
Damn,
that,
I was-
very
did.
close in those lines. And
I was angry, bro. Sorry.
I know. And then I remember, because you started vlogging, but I would watch him every once in a while, but then I just nonstop, all my tweets were, "Oh, look at this, look at this, look what Roy said, look what Roy said." All the Instagram, everything was sending me that. And then I called you and I was like, "Hey," or I text you or something. I was
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
you
what
texted
was
him.
that about?" And then your response was, "LOL, I didn't even know you watched my vlogs."
Yeah, I don't know why you said that because that was messed
I
up.
don't know. I was just like, I really don't know. why
But
I
he
said
he
that.
was very frustrated and very burnt
Mhm.
out. And at
Yes.
that point, you guys weren't even really friends.
Yeah.
You know, you guys were just like business acquaintances, but you didn't want to admit that you weren't friends.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just a very weird place to be. But it wasn't his smartest move
Mm.
posting that. It was not
Just
very
very
sensitive.
resentful.
And
I've done
yeah.
that with text where I'm like, "Oh, I wish I didn't send that text." After like 5 minutes, I
Yeah.
think about it, I'm like, "Oh, why did I do that? I just made it so awkward."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have just chilled.
Yeah, but there was also like other stuff going on too, and like you guys were just acclimating to like life in LA,
Mhm.
and I guess
Yeah.
that's how you guys saw how different you were and
Mhm.
how you guys were flourishing and growing apart.
Well, I remember the text, and then you said, "LO, I didn't know you watched." I was like, "Yeah, I watched, but I didn't have to watch this one because everybody sent it to me." And then you were like, w- "We need to talk when I get back. I
Oh.
wanna leave with Wasabi Productions." And I was like, "Okay, but why did you post a video? And then let's not change the topic yet." And then he was like, "I just told you I'm gonna leave, and you want to talk about other things." And I was like, what? I can't just not talk about this thing that everybody's like sending me.
Yeah.
And then you were like, whatever, we'll just talk when I get there. And then we went to PF Chang's.
You guys did go to the PF Chang's
We
to break
did.
up.
Oh my gosh. Damn,
Yeah.
I was not in a good place.
He was not in a good place with that, and he was hearing it on my end too. And I think it's just a lot of like he already had his mindset on where he wanted to go. And I mean, he did make a really great thing from it after he left, but it did sever the friendship.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I think we're better friends now than
Yeah.
we were even before we started having problems before.
Mm.
So like even in the early days before we started butting heads.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You think?
I think so now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because
Yeah.
we're matured, and I think just not seeing you and missing you, I just
Yeah.
miss like, there was Alex, and I
Yeah.
realized how important he is in my life, and
Mhm.
I think that's what drew me closer. Like, oh man, I can't take you for granted because I already did what I did, so this is where I am, and is there any way to fix it, kind of thing. It's
I
where we are now.
remember we started like collabing a little bit like years ago, and then right before you called me that one time on Christmas or Thanksgiving, and it was like, what do you think about getting back together? I'm like, what? Before that, we were like started collabing a couple times more, and I would always come here and be like, yo, this is so fun. Whenever you guys need me, anytime, I'll be here because it's just so fun. And then he called me and was like, hey, can I run something by you? And I was like, yeah. I thought it was like a video idea or something. And I was like, why is he calling me like on Christmas? And I just thought, and like we always text, we never call. And then I answered. He was like, yo, let's get back together. I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, that's it? Like, you're done? I'm like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean-
just refreshing. I just said it because we did collab, and every time we collab, it was just you just brought in like a very familiar and refreshing energy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dang. And then when I did like guava juice and just kept doing the guava juice stuff, it just
Solo.
felt stale over time.
Let's talk about how you started YouTube, your individual journeys. I think you were trying to be an actress first, right? And Aaron was trying to be a pharmacist.
Do you want to go first?
I
go
think mine's a lot easier than yours.
You go
is.
first.
I was in college trying to figure out whatever I wanted to do, and I was making videos.
Where were
kinda
you
like at UNC Charlotte.
That's right.
So I was at UNC Charlotte, and you came by for a party, you and Jeremy.
I did. Yeah, we did.
And I showed you one of my videos. I was like, hey, I did this. And you're like, you should post this. And I was like, you think so? He's like, yeah, just post it. Just post anything on YouTube. Yeah, just do it.
You got to start somewhere.
You just got to do it.
Yeah.
So I did it. And then I was like, okay, I got to come up with a channel name. And you were like, and I regret I shouldn't have did it. He was like, do Lazy Ron. And I was like, what? Why Lazy Ron? You're like, because it sounds cool.
He was lazy at the time. We were both lazy. Like I was sleeping in all the time. He was sleeping. We loved to sleep. So
And
I was like, Lazy Ron.
that's been like the most question. Why Lazy Ron? I was like, my brother told me to do it.
It was a cool name. It was better than what we had at the time.
Yeah.
we couldn't think of anything else. And Lazy Ron sounded cool.
Anyways, I started doing that, and before I knew it, YouTube got to a point where it was paying more than what I wanted to do from school. And then Alex was like, you should come out to California, live out here, have fun. And then
I was like, my boyfriend just broke up with me. You can move in with me.
No, wait, no. When I moved out here, you guys were still together.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were in the messy
Yeah.
stuff.
He was in the messy stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, because my girlfriend at the time.
How dare you didn't think of your future wife?
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
So I moved out here with my girlfriend at the time, and she lived with. She lived with you.
Was, roommate. My
Yeah,
roommate.
roommate. And then so I'd go back and forth. So we were walking distance too.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we became roommates, and then now we're here.
There you go.
Yep.
And then you started doing YouTube, and then you switched it from Lazy Ron to Aaron Burris,
Yeah.
right?
My manager was like, "You should do that," and I was like, "Can I do that?" She's like, "Yeah."
Well, I was thinking more like Lazy Ron. I thought you could be like relatable lazy, like
True.
show them stuff, and then people would be like, oh, that's just like me. And that's what I was thinking. And then he's just like, everyone thinks I'm lazy. And I was like, all right.
Everybody's like, "You don't seem lazy." I was like, "I'm not."
Let's talk about YouTube hate. How do you deal with that?
Oh man. I actually got my first glimpse of YouTube hate
in the last month.
It got bad.
Huh?
It was really,
Okay,
it was
before
really
we
interesting.
before we tell you what happened, something happened, and she got a TikTok made about it. And how many views did it get?
It's at almost 10 million views.
Wait, what?
10 million views on a TikTok about the YouTube hate she's been getting.
Yeah.
What happened? Why people hate
Oh,
you?
you about to find out.
There's no reason to hate you.
Well, that's the thing, right? So I went on David's channel, and I did a video where you have to like debate, right? And so he gives you these sort of like scenarios, and whether you believe in whatever topic he gave you to argue about, whether you believe in it or not, you have to debate it. Mm-hmm. I get very heated when I debate.
Sure.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer. When I got older, I was like, I don't want to do that. But when I was younger, I really wanted to be a lawyer because I would just get very passionate. So when I'm still like that. When I debate about things, I get very passionate. Mm-hmm. But anyways, we were doing this debate, and one of our friends, her name's Tara Yummy. Mm-hmm. Love her, by the way. Like she has always been, from the moment I met her, she has always been so sweet to me. I wouldn't say we were necessarily super close. Like, you know, I would see her every now and then at like events or like, you know, at a video or something random. I know a couple Taras in real life.
Every Tara, every Tara I know in the world is Tara.
Is Tara.
So it's obviously confusing that there's somebody named Tara. So it's like, oh, okay, I have to call you something I haven't called any other Tara in my life.
My heart's racing. So in the video, I was just like debating, and I mispronounced her name twice.
Oh.
And she corrected me, which I'm happy she did, right?
Yeah.
Like I have no, like she was like, it's Tara. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Tara. And you know, I did it one more time after that. And I felt really bad. And of course, those videos get really cut up. They never caught me being like, I'm so sorry. Like I did not mean to mispronounce your name. And I felt really bad, but I knew Tara's. And so I'd gotten her name wrong a couple times, and the way it was clipped together, it just didn't look good on my part.
And then the person that she was debating against on the other team, she was like, me and Tara are friends. I consider her a friend, right? And then
Tara said yes. Tara said yes.
The opponent said, you don't even know her name. And then that got clipped, and it has 10 million views on TikTok.
And people they thought I did it on purpose. And the problem is they don't know me, right? They don't know
absolutely.
Alexis.
What would your last words be before you pass away? Like,
I think
knowing you were going to pass away.
like surrounded by family and friends.
Yes.
I think if I was laying in bed.
Don't eat me. I'm kidding.
If I was laying in bed and my family and everybody's around me, I would say, look over there.
No, you would not. No, you would.
I'd be like, okay, bye.
Stop, bro. I guess.
I'll be like, if you're not smiling, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Mine would be something to comfort everybody that it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe something in the words like, if I'm not here, I'll be watching over you guys, making sure everybody's okay, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I just want, the thing I'm scared of most of death is how people would feel. And like I said earlier, I can't control that, but I can control how people react to it. Like I would want them to know it's okay.
Yeah.
And continue to live your life, and I will always be there watching.
Yeah.
And then whenever you fall asleep, I'm going to tickle your toes. That's what my dad would tell us as kids.
Yeah.
I remind you, we were kids. When I die, I'm going to go hunt you and tickle your toes to let you know it's me. I'm like, bro, no. I'm 8.
I think if man, it'd be hard because I'd probably want to just make specific speeches for everybody.
Yep.
And everybody leave the room except for you. But then I can't make it for everybody. And then the people I didn't make speeches for would be sad that I didn't. So I think I would probably do a group speech.
Yeah.
Because I'm a speech guy. I like putting my feelings in words, thinking about it, and then failing at getting them out because I start crying.
Yeah.
But that's probably how I would go. hopefully I'm all there mentally so that I can be there. But if it's something like that where like I'm mentally going, I'll probably do it early. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna write the speech early.
Yeah.
Maybe have somebody else read it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. But last words, man, that's crazy thoughts.
Those last words. I guess I could say it here just in case anything unexpected happens to me from now until my death. To my family watching, my friends, I just want to say I am glad and honored to know you. But I know I'm not here right now, but I just want to let you know that I am very happy I've met you in my life, and I want you to continue living your life to the fullest, and I will be there watching from wherever I am, and I will support you, and I will see you soon.
Beautiful.
Yeah?
I told my girlfriend one time, I think I'm gonna die soon. She did not like it.
Why do you
It was
say
just
that?
a passing thought. I was like, hey,
That's
I
true.
feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm gonna die soon. And she was like, what? Don't say that. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I just random thought popped in my head. I felt like I was going to.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Memento mori is the term for it, where just you're doing something normal, and then boom, think about death.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like that. I don't know why.
What do you
I
think
feel-
happens after we die?
I have no idea. I think, I do think there's something after death, but I like to think in the state of there is nothing, because then you live your life more full.
Mm.
You're like, oh, okay, this is all you have. So I try to live this life the best I can, and then prepare for whatever's next.
Yeah.
I'll just try to live that life as best I can. But as for now, I just want to live the best, make the best impact on the world that I can, even though we're minuscule little particles of dust in this universe.
Mm.
I like to think that we've had combined 13 billion, 14 billion views, and I feel like I like to think at least 50% of that we made somebody's life better. We made them laugh, and we
Yeah.
never even met them. We
Yeah.
reached into their life, and we impacted it in a good way.
Yep.
That's I just want to leave it better than I came into it.
Yeah. You know the gravestones with the dash?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that analogy? It's like
No.
the date of your birth is that number, and then the date of your death is the other number, but the dash in between is the life you lived.
Oh.
You heard of that?
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I was
cool.
like, oh,
That's the
great.
important thing is the dash.
The dash.
Don't worry about the numbers.
Oh, wow, dash.
That's good.
Let me tell you this before you continue. When we started walking to where I was gonna propose to Monette,
Your legs
the
get
beach,
hotter?
I was like, oh God, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna say this? How am I gonna say this? And when we got to the spot, Marlon was with us, and he
Yeah.
brought his drone, and he just started flying it. Oh, it's got a new drone. I'm just
Testing it out.
So obviously that didn't help. It
And
made
then
it more obvious.
our friend with the big camera was taking pictures of like his wife being like, I'm just testing this out. It's sunset. And I was like, guys, this is so obvious. I just sat there like,
I know.
I'm just waiting for this to
I
happen.
was like, shoot, this is
Yeah.
too
Okay, so
obvious, this is too
you had
obvious.
stuff planned in your head to say?
I did.
How much came out legibly? Or like
2%, probably 2%.
were you
2%.
like,
I also made it very hard for
She
you.
made it very hard because
Yeah.
she knew.
I knew.
She knew it was
I
how it
was so
gonna happen
embarrassed
soon.
already. Yeah.
And
I felt
she-
so embarrassed.
She is like, she doesn't like attention.
No.
yeah.
So I
How
was
many
just-
people were there altogether?
Like 5.
Oh, that's
6.
not that bad. And then nude people.
And then the nude
And
people.
then
Yeah.
nude people,
Yeah.
yeah. But I was trying to pull her aside to get to the spot where Ian told me to go.
Why?
But then
I didn't
What do
want to
you want?
go.
Why was that a specific spot?
it's
For
pretty
the
background.
photos.
Oh,
Yeah.
the photos.
Oh, okay.
I was
okay,
like, come. She's like, no.
I didn't want to go.
No,
Why?
no.
Because I was so embarrassed and nervous because I just hate attention. And I was just like, I wish he would just propose and just get it over with. Like,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
be
yeah.
engaged, but I don't want the intention that comes with it.
Yep.
But I did make it hard. I'm
30
sorry.
minutes went
Yeah.
by. I was like, all right. So I just like told everyone just to start walking back, and I'll probably just propose when they're like farther away. And that's when I did it. And then I looked over them. They started running back.
To take photos and
then
everything.
I knelt to my knee. I had like a
Ooh, which
whole.
knee? Which knee? Is there a specific
left.
knee you're
I
supposed to
think
do?
left, right?
Are you supposed to?
Yeah, I think so. Left
Ugh.
means like your
There's a
weak-
knee. I forgot what
weak
it
knee.
is.
So you're bending your weak knee for what's that? What's the reason
I
for
don't know.
that?
I don't know. It's probably some Roman Empire thing.
Okay.
But like, I had like this whole script ready. So as soon as I knelt, everything was just gone. I did not remember the whole script. I was like,
You
Yeah.
started crying immediately.
Well, he was standing and he wasn't crying, and I watched him go down, and immediately, like as he knelt, all of a sudden bawling. Like it was so fast.
I love his crying face
Yeah.
because it's like
Yeah,
it's a
it's-
lot.
It's ugly, man.
He's
This is
staring
why I
at me
don't
with his
cry.
crying
Not
face.
ugly, it's just very expressive.
It's so
ugly.
expressive.
Ugly.
I have an ugly crying
No, you
face,
don't.
Alex. I have an ugly.
It's funny
crying
though
He
because you
does.
super cry.
It was
You're
endearing
like, I
though.
can marry that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you pretty much studied through the whole thing, and then what were the words, the specific words to say? Was it "Will you marry me?"
Yeah,
or
will
like?
you marry me?
Oh, okay.
I said I want to spend the rest of my.
He
Will
was
you marry
very
me?
we don't know what he said. It was like not coherent. It didn't make any sense.
There's no footage either, or audio of it.
No,
There is
because
footage, yeah.
There
But
is
not
footage?
audio,
Of
no
the
audio.
word.
no audio.
Oh,
Yeah, because our friends were running back because
Yeah.
they knew that like they're
You
like
should've
she's not
put
gonna
your
bite.
phone on like record just to
No,
hear the
man.
words.
I don't think you wanted to hear what he said because it made no sense. Yeah, it
What
made no
is
sense.
you were like, mm-hmm.
She cried too, so.
I did because
Oh.
I was just watching him bawl his eyes out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this must be so hard for him. So it made me cry.
Aww.
And then I just said yes, and then I was like, okay, let's get out of here. Like this is
Yeah.
a lot of
So
attention.
wait, you said yes, and then did you like kiss, or did you pick her up and spin around like in the movies, or she just said yes, and then you put the the ring on? That's what you do, right?
What did we do
She said yes, put the ring, and then we kissed. For the
for
first
the
time.
first time?
Oh.
We're
You
joking. We're
liars.
joking.
I feel like my right knee is the move, man. I feel like it'll be easier. Like this feels awkward.
Just go on both knees and have the ring on your mouth.
No, don't
what
do
if I
that.
just
Don't
go
do
on my
that.
stomach and I do
Don't
like
do that.
I do like a half moon kind of proposal.
Or you could just be normal about it and just
True.
go on one knee and then just make it normal.
The any knee is fine. I
I
need to
don't
know these
know.
things.
You could Google it. What's the right knee for?
Oh
it?
yeah,
I don't
let's
know.
see
The right knee
if
is
it
this
signifies
right knee.
anything.
This is the left knee. The right knee.
What's the correct knee?
Oh, I don't
The
know.
right knee is the correct knee because it's right.
Your left knee should be on the ground.
Dang
Left
it.
knee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
So I told
practice
you.
that.
So
I
you
gotta
should practice. Do you want to practice right now for everyone watching?
Yeah, let me try.
Oh, and then
Okay.
children have kidneys.
Okay, Alex is gonna practice his.
Oh, this feels so right. What's the significance? Why?
It just says. It's
You can take off
traditional.
running with that one.
The ring box should be in your left hand.
You can take
and
off
the box
running.
should be opened with your right hand.
Even with that, it feels
Wait,
like it
flip
should be
the other
like
way, the other
this.
way.
No, it says your left knee should be on the ground.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that.
Oh, that's
Yes.
you did it wrong.
And then
No, I did it right. Oh, you put left knee down.
I did this.
For everyone. Oh, okay. They're on the ground right now for everyone listening.
Okay. I think I had it wrong in my head. I was thinking, I don't know. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's perfect. That's what I
Yeah.
want. Okay.
But yeah.
Anything else I should know?
No, that's it. You know, just enjoy the
Be
day.
yourself. Yeah, enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment,
Yeah.
dude. Do it as soon as possible. If the day of, just do it. Because I had to wait all day. That thing, I think I cried so much because I was just so stressed out.
You
He was
really
really
day, like,
stressed. Yeah.
Oh, so morning is better.
And then after that, good luck wedding planning.
Oh yeah. How long was your engagement?
2 years.
That was 2 years.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good. I think longer
joke.
engagements is good.
I love Alexis.
That's so sweet.
It's so great. I'm so happy.
You want me to marry her?
Absolutely.
When?
She keeps telling me, "Is he gonna propose yet? Propose. Tell him to propose.
Well,
tell him to
'cause
I
propose
can't
right
tell
now."
you.
It's so I know you can't. We've
you can
talked
tell
about
me.
this.
I can't. I can't tell you.
I'm not.
You're gonna tell your wife. If you tell anybody that has a wife, they're gonna tell their
But
wife.
we
There's so
gotta
many
know.
secrets I haven't
You can tell
told
me.
her.
Can you tell
I can tell Roy.
And then you can tell.
Who's he gonna
us.
tell?
I have so many secrets I haven't told her. So you can tell me.
I was so delayed. I was waiting. I looked over waiting, and she's like,
You can tell me. I won't tell her.
"No, I can't."
Well,
It's
when
okay.
the
It'll be a
time
surprise for all of you.
comes- When the time comes, we're gonna have a lot of great times together.
Oh.
When we're all together.
I feel like this is the trifecta. Like our kids are gonna grow up together, and we're like us three are gonna help each other out. Like I told Roy, we should make this agreement too. Whenever, no matter what, if like the baby wakes up at 2 a.m. and you're taking care of the baby, and Ronnie has to get up early for something, and you're like, oh, I need this from the store, you can always call me, and I'll drive over there, and I'll be like, oh, come on, okay.
Do we want that?
I don't know.
That's what I said too. I was like, that's a lot of
I was
responsibility.
like, I need
dude.
reinforcement, like, because you're not gonna want to, but if you ever need somebody to do something and you have no other choice, then you can be like, Alex. I'm like, oh.
I might ask Roy. I might ask Roy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe we'll have like
fun.
a tally going. So like you can't ask 2 times back to back without the other person asking.
No favors.
Yeah. So if you ask me, you have to wait till I ask you for you to ask me again. But you always have Roy do.
I think this is a lie. It's too confusing.
Yeah, we can be like the
It's a
Titos.
good idea. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So when are you guys getting engaged?
Whoa!
You said Beyonce, so you want to elaborate? Yeah, I know. How much did you talk about it? Teach me.
We talked about it.
We've big time talked
We've
about
talked
it.
about it enough where I'm not afraid to ask the question.
I think I've just tried my best with him just because I do feel like it gets brought up a lot.
Who? What?
No, just like everybody brings it up.
Oh yeah, anywhere
To
I
him,
go,
to
everywhere
me,
I go.
And I've just tried like every single time after I just kind of like when we get home and we're just like talking about our day, I'm like, hey, by the way, there's no pressure. I want you to do it when you feel good and ready and we feel good and ready, and you know, just so that he doesn't feel the pressure. And if he does, it's not coming from me.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
as far as like if you were to give advice to someone who hasn't talked to their girlfriend about engagement, how I didn't talk, what advice would you give?
I don't know. I couldn't imagine proposing and not already knowing the answer. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not nervous to ask, but I am waiting until we're more settled because we're renting right now. We're gonna move like in the next month or two, and then there's a lot of moving parts. But once everything kind of slows down. I don't want to give any hints away. It's just like the butthole thing. I'm not going to show you my butthole until we get married. So there's still some mystery in our relationship. So I can't give you a timeline of when I'm going to propose so that there's still mystery in our relationship. Why do you want to see my butthole, you weirdo?
I'm gonna marry that butthole.
I haven't seen
know
his
what it
butthole
looks
either.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
It's just the only thing you haven't seen on my body, and I like to keep it.
But what about me? You've seen everything.
I have.
Everything. He's seen everything.
Yep.
Oh,
I helped her fart the other day, and I got my face all up in there.
oh, you did.
Yeah.
You did. You
Gotta
really
get
did.
used to it at some point.
Yeah.
The biggest death in your life.
The big D. I don't think we were friends throughout this part of my life, but I don't think we really talked about it.
I didn't know how to approach you.
Yeah, I
just
could tell.
kind of just were there. I was just there to
We were
just
both
be
confused.
there for you
Yeah.
without actually talking about it or mentioning it. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, how's he doing?
All right. Here we go.
Mhm.
This is the closest death I've encountered, and there was something you did that I was like, oh, that's super nice. And then there's one part of the story that I might cry, but I'm gonna try not to.
Sure.
So I am on vacation, or I'm like 6 or 8 hours away somewhere visiting I think we got a cabin or something, me and my family. And we're packing up. The vacation was over. We're about to head back. And I get a call from my friend. And he's like, hey, man, you got to come back. And this is, I'm not going to say names, but this is a friend. And then there's another friend that it happened to. And it was like us three were like the main friend group. So he calls me, and he knew I was the closest with the guy.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, man, you got to come back. And I was like, oh, yeah, man. Oh, well, yeah, we're packing up right now. We're about to head back. And he's like, no. You need to hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why? And he's like, it's our friend.
Did
I said,
it hit you? Like,
Huh?
you already knew what happened when he said that?
No.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, he got in a motorcycle accident. And I said, okay, because he's gotten in little fender benders before. He newly got a motorcycle, probably within a year of getting the motorcycle, this happened.
Yeah.
And he would come home and be like, oh, this is crazy. Oh, I almost got hit by this. Oh, I had to jump the curb here. And I was like, oh, that's crazy, man. Be careful. Don't be crazy. And he's okay. And he said, he's in the hospital, bro. It's not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do you mean it's not looking good? I've never dealt with death. So I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what do you mean? He's going to go to the hospital. That's what hospital's for. You get better and you get out.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, it's looking really bad. And then I told my dad and my brother, I was like, we got to go. He said, okay. So we have to, knowing this information, I was probably 22, 23.
Yeah.
We get in the car, and just sporadically throughout the 6 or 8 hours, I would just start crying. And Aaron too. Because Aaron was pretty close to him too. That's my older brother. And he would randomly start crying. And you can tell my dad, like, we're his kids. He's never had to deal with this with his kids. So he's just trying to be there for us, but he's also crying because his kids are crying. And he's like, whoa, like, it's happening. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. He just, none of us saw it coming.
Yeah.
So we get back to the hospital, back to, I think UNC is where we were at, or maybe Duke. I think we were at Duke. And I'm walking up to the floor, and the friend that called me comes around the corner, and I just break down. I just cry. I was like, he's kind of holding me up because I like just drop.
Yeah.
And then we saw the family and everything, and then they're like, do you want to go see him? And I was like, yeah. He's unconscious. And we go into the room, and he's just hooked up to all these things. He has all these stitches. His head was shaved because he had to have all these stitches in his head. And they said that he was driving home. I think it was like middle of the night because he was a bar back. So he would be like helping close everything at the bar. And then he was driving home, and he was riding his motorcycle. And I guess a pickup truck came out of a gas station, and he was going pretty fast, faster than he should have been going. And he hit the side of the truck so hard that he left knuckle prints in the metal.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he flew off. He flew like 50 feet. His helmet flew off, and he just rolled. And then they got him to the hospital, and I got there. And it was awkward because I actually dated his sister. So we became best friends. I dated his sister for a year, something like that. And then we became best friends. So we stayed friends after. And then we ended up being roommates before we moved in together.
Yeah.
We moved in together. And then a few months after we moved in together, this happened.
Yeah.
And so the sister was there. I haven't seen her in forever, but we're fine. But the mom didn't know how close me and her son were.
Yep.
She just thought I was the ex. So she thought it was weird that I was there. So she didn't like that I was there.
Oh.
And so I wanted to stay the night in the waiting room and just sleep on the chair.
Yeah.
And she requested that I didn't. And so they told me to leave and I could come back tomorrow. And some people were staying, and I couldn't do it. So I just went to my car in the parking garage and slept in the car.
Yeah.
Until I could come back in the morning. And then the next morning, she pulled me to the side and said, hey, I'm so sorry that we didn't let you stay last night. I didn't know how close you were, but when I asked you to leave, everybody said, hey, this is the number one person that he would want to stay here.
Oh.
So after that, he was in there for like a month, never woke up, and I would stay there every night. And I would stay there all day and then sleep there at night and then greet the people to come visit the next day. And then I ended up being the one to be like, hey, I'll take you in there. I know it's hard to see him in this way, but I've been here. I can help you. So I was just dealing with all these people crying, and I was pretty much out of tears at this point. And I remember like they started like a GoFundMe or something, and I asked you, I was like, hey, Roy, is it cool if Wassabi donates this amount of money? And you're like, bro, whatever you need, you can donate as much money, help out. Like, you can do anything. And that was really nice. I was like, oh, thank you. So then after a month of him being in there and me just staying there, he got transferred to hospice. And then he was in hospice for a few weeks, and they had to pull the plug because the parents were like, they both worked in the medical field, or the dad was a cop, the mom was a nurse. And she was like, yeah, like she was trying to keep everybody's hope, like not trying to like, shoot everybody down, but she was also trying to be realistic and be like, guys, like we've spent like a lot of money, probably over 100,000, trying to keep him going. Hospice is very expensive. Hospitals are very expensive, and all that stuff. So they, like, we have to pull the plug. And of course, a lot of the friends and people were like, no, just give him more time. But now looking back on it, they were right. They did the right thing. They're like, it wasn't going to change anything. So then he passed away. They pulled the plug at hospice in Durham, and they had the funeral and everything, and then it was okay because it wasn't like boom, he's gone. We had time to like get used to the fact, to come to the realization like this is life.
Yeah.
It was probably like a 2-month time span of when the accident happened to when they pulled the plug and then the funeral. But this messed me up for a while, but now I'm past it. Now I'm like, okay, it wasn't my fault, because everybody thinks that it's partially their fault.
Yeah.
So he got out of the military, and when a lot of people in the military, they buy like a cool car, like a sports car. And so he got this really expensive sports car, and he was always complaining about money. He's like, man, I need more money. I was like, bro, you don't need the sports car. Why don't you just sell that and get a normal car? And that way you'll have like $10,000, $20,000 that you can like use. And he was like, okay. So I talked him into doing that. He sold the sports car. He got another, just like a Honda Civic or something, but also he missed the speed, so he bought a motorcycle.
Along with the Civic?
Along with the Civic. And I always thought if I didn't talk him into selling that sports car,
yeah.
But I don't think it's my fault. It's just stupid motorcycles, man.
I don't think it was your fault either, man.
Yeah. But, hold on.
Yeah.
Yep, that was my closest brush with death.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I would cry.
No, that's...
Dang it, it's the second time I cried in the first 4
It's not your
podcasts.
fault, man.
Yeah, so that was the biggest brush with death, but that's why
Yeah.
I feel like death makes you stronger. Like, even though it sucked, like all the stories we talked about in this pod, it just makes you stronger. Like, I couldn't imagine having to go through that without experiencing any kind of it. At least I got it out of the way early. I got that life experience, and now I'm stronger now, and I'm better prepared for it when it happens again, which it inevitably will. But
it sucks every time you have to do it.
Yeah, it sucks every time, and it never gets easier. But at least you know what to expect.
Yeah. This dude,
What?
you just have random thoughts.
Yeah, and you got your job to reel it back in.
You know what he said earlier? He's like, you ever smell a cow and you feel like eating him? I'm like, what? No, I have never smelled a cow like, oh, you're going to be a good beef. No.
I meant in the sun. Like, if you smell, it's a hot day, you walk by a cow field.
No. I smell a pig. Good bacon.
Yeah.